gives me a playful smile and sends a kiss in my direction. Ah! I love him. A musky and sweet perfume rolls off of him as he leans in and plants a swift kiss on my cheek. The uncharacteristic gesture catches me off guard, and I instinctively recoil. The hell you do? Why are you like this? So, I was hoping MC would get smarter. They didn't. I never thought it would come to this. He casts a final, lingering gaze in my direction. You won't hear from me again, my deity. Then, as abruptly as he had appeared, his figure vanishes from sight, swallowed by the shadows of the surrounding forest. Is he really gone? There's no use dwelling on it, though. I turn my focus to Helios instead, swiftly assessing his condition. As expected, a grotesque strangulation mark disfigures his neck, its angry red hue contrasting starkly against his pallid skin. The area is inflamed, marked by clusters of crimson imprints where the pressure had been most severe. A raspy cough escapes Helios as he painstakingly lifts himself upright until his gaze is level with mine. You, Lion, are a true hero. Another cough seizes Helios, prompting him to massage his tender neck with his hand before he continues to speak, his voice strained but sincere. Who knows what may have occurred had it not been for your auspicious intervention. His words resonate with gratitude and admiration as he continues, his voice barely above a whisper. Don't strain yourself. Your throat is still sensitive right now. So why did no one else intervene in the first place? Consequences should befall those who instigate danger without carefully deliberating upon the prevailing situation. Acting on impulse is disgraceful for those who claim themselves to be leaders. It is only fitting that they receive due punishment. Even still. Besides, we have an understanding that, in the absence of any signal, interference is unwarranted. Hence, you must not reproach them for their inaction. Signal? Indeed, so we can discuss that later. It is quite fortunate that you found yourself in possession of that peculiar chemical tucked away in your pocket. Huh? Didn't he see me use the same power as him? I drew that injection into existence, didn't I? You would not happen to possess any additional hidden accoutrements now, would you? They could prove to be of immense value in any forthcoming joust with the villain. Now there, think about it. The glow and mist-like effects hadn't manifested around me, so it makes sense that he'd have no clue about it. Having an ace on my sleeve doesn't sound like a bad idea. Might be best to keep my ability to myself for now. I theatrically empty my pocket, revealing their emptiness to alleviate his doubts. Sadly, that was my one-shot plan. How unfortunate. Rest assured that this does not dampen our appreciation for your assistance today. As a token of gratitude, you're permitted to ask the Pixies anything you desire. However, we implore you to exercise caution and refrain from delving into any sensitive matters. The villain may still be monitoring our actions. It is imperative we refrain from inadvertently divulging our secrets to him, particularly those pertaining your return. Who should I approach? No! Ew! I don't want any! No! Oh, okay, Merca is the green one. Rosario is horny. Helios is this chump. Kai is the hot-headed red dude. Yulin, who was Yulin again? Okay, I know Adonis is purple, so that means Yulin is blue. Wait, isn't Kai... No, Kai is blue. Yulin is red. Red and purple, yellow and blue, or... Oh my god, look at all these choices. How can I pick? I mean, okay, green. You know, it would be funny talking with Rosario. It will be incredibly funny. Let's go there. I make my way towards the respective Pixies. Their voices carry softly through the forest as they engage in conversation. Merca greets me with a playful grin, his sharp teeth gleaming as his observant eyes sweep over me. Meanwhile, Rosario coquettishly toys with his hair, each twirl of his curled locks releasing a musky fragrance with sweet undertones. The unique scent wafts towards me, and I instinctively take a deep, lingering breath to savor it. You just met the dude! Why are you being such a creep already, MC? Hello? You wearing that stinking perfume again, Rosario? Isn't it a delightful scent, dearest? Rosario truly embodies the essence of his name, resembling an elegant flower in full bloom. His long dress drapes over his figure, perfectly tailored to his bodice. His towering heels accentuate his already substantial height. With each step, he exudes an air of sophistication and gentleness. In contrast with his diminutive height and dramatic gestures, Merca appears akin to a rash child. Yet upon closer inspection, Merca and I seem to be of similar height. It's best not to be judgmental right away. After all, almost everyone will feel a pang of self-consciousness next to Rosario's manicured perfection. As if! I don't want to stitch up my nose again, shapeshift into a bird or something and air out that awful smell. Dearest, you know I dislike transforming into animals. It ruins my outfits, and I spent an awful lot of time preparing this one. I wanted to show up with my most enchanting outfit for our beautiful sovereign, after all. He turns towards me and blows a kiss in my direction. My dude, we just met! Huh? Attention seeker much? Two can play at that game. Oi! No! Before I can process what's happening, a blinding light envelopes my vision as their wings burst fall. Oh god, wait. Does he keep his clothes on? Rosario's wings harmonize with his fiery, dual-colored hair, bearing red hot and stand out against a black backdrop. Meanwhile, Merca impatiently unfurls his own vibrant green wings, which are adorned with a unique pattern resembling watchful eyes. That's a moth's wings. I'm not sure what sort of wings you have. Probably another moth. My, I can't let you steal the spotlight, dearest. That's my role after all. Their wings truly deserve the spotlight. It's a shame I don't have the opportunity to examine them closely. The nameless pixie kept his wing partially concealed under his coat, depriving me of a full view. Similarly, when Helios spread his wings open, the chaos of the ensuing fight prevented me from studying them in detail. Perhaps this is my opportunity to research a never-before-seen genetic modification. Can I touch your wings? Shock flits across both faces at the request. A warm flush paints Merca's cheeks in crimson hues. Please don't tell me that your wings are where you get most sensitive. Like, please, for the love of God, no! Rosario shoots a knowing glance at his companion before bursting into laughter. You're quite the bold one, aren't you, Sovereign? Oh god, it's the equivalent of me like grabbing them by the peen now, isn't it? Did you have indecent intentions this whole time? I knew it! What? Making such a request has quite the special meaning for our kind, you know? That's not what Rosario locks eyes with me, a sly smile playing at the corner of his lips, as if he's privy to a secret joke. You're not serious, are you? Why? Is succumbing to my charm such a terrible thing? You might as well put a for sale sign around your neck instead. It'll have the same effect. Envious, are we? So, I must say, green doesn't quite suit you, darling. Your clothes are already hanging on by a thread. Just look at those dreary pins and needles. That's rich coming from someone who constantly shapeshifts just to squeeze into their outfits. The mockery doesn't seem to faze Rosario, who continues to twirl his locks thoughtfully. Have you considered gold? Helios might throw fits if you take his color, though. He's truly greedy when it comes to... My essence is draining by the second because of your constant blabbering. Just deal with the perverted human and let's be done with it. says the pixie who's pierced himself multiple times down there. I don't want to know about your pierced peen. Like, I won't mind knowing about the nameless pixie's peen, but neither of yours, okay? How'd you know about that? Oh, I was right. Huh? Thank you for the earnest confession, my darling. Wait. You bastard! Enough, you two. Didn't mean anything perverted in the first place, so let's stop this pointless discussion. We understand, Sovereign. Merca's just shy and eager for your attention. He may have a unique fashion sense and even more childish mannerisms. Oi! Shut up! You're taking it too far! Sew your mouth shut, you hear me? He's simply desperate for your approval. See how he's practically squirming with embarrassment. Stop! 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 Frustration mars his voice as his cheeks continue to flush deeper shades of crimson. Beads of sweat dot his forehead, glistening like he's been simmering in a cauldron, ready to boil over at any moment. Why not give his wings a slight touch, Sovereign? He'd surely appreciate it. I'm warning, don't you dare cross that line, human! He said not. I respect your boundaries. I resist the urge to touch Merca's wings, instead holding the pixie's piercing gaze. His expression turns childlike, his pout deepening with every passing second. Whatever. You're probably just thinking you're better than the rest of us because we paid a little attention to you. He shifts uneasily on his feet, his wings twitching slightly before pointing a finger at me with a huff, his brows knitting together in frustration. So don't let it get to your head, human. Before he can finish, Rosario swiftly plants a quick peck on Merca's lips. This action effectively silences Merca, who only dumbly stares at Rosario with a slack jaw. Rosario pulls back, smirking with satisfaction. There, that should quiet you down. Merca remains frozen, his mouth agape with blazing red cheeks. His eyes dart around, trying to process what just happened as Rosario looks on, clearly pleased with himself. Are these two in a relationship? You really like the Sovereign, don't you, dearest? Too bad. I'm going to steal them right in front of your eyes. Look, I don't know what you guys are trying to pull, but I'm not interested in intervening in whatever lover spat you have going on. Lover spat? Rosario tilts his head inquisitively, a sly grin dancing on his lips as he seizes my hand, weaving his fingers with mine. His grip is firm and the pressure of his adorned fingernails subtly marks my skin. So that's how you see us. Who's lovers with who? He's only sticking around to gain more juice for his shavat. Shavat, yet another unfamiliar word. Perhaps it's related to the Esas element that was mentioned earlier. Helios did say they could send me back home with the so-called life force of the painting. Maybe I can learn more from this. Daydreaming in my presence? That won't do. Rosario's unexpected remark startles me. I instinctively recoil my hand from his grasp, yet his expression remains unchanged, a subtle smirk playing on his lips. It feels like these two were playing with me. One is the very definition of a flirt, and the other is nothing but an attention-seeking troublemaker. Lucky me. What did you mean by shavat? Is it related to the life force you guys keep referring to? Correct. Shavat is what I call my personal essence. It embodies the essence of my existence as the hero of lust. Thus, the manner by which I worship my sovereign lies in how I channel and control my desires. After all, Essas is the very essence that sustains our world and its pixies, providing our unique strengths, ambitions, and personas. Why did I make a horny pixie when I was a child? Why? I mean, I understand, but why? And it all finds its origins in you. Me? I don't want to think about the implications of that. I didn't even know about this alleged SS before entering the world of the painting. How could I have provided it to them? Wait, hold up. How long has it been since I've actually made these paintings? I think it's been at least 10 years. I'm in medical school now. I don't want to think about the implications of this. No, thank you. That's it. Now I get it. It's connected to the painting, isn't it? Smart and beautiful. It's exactly what I like to see. Easy to please, isn't he? What I need from him right now is information, not praise. Is the SS restricted to this realm, or does it come from my world too? How much fanfiction did I used to write as a kid to be able to come up with these? I'm legitimately wondering that. Probably too much. I would know. Since you mentioned that my painting is what's keeping you alive. It's not that, you idiot human. You're partially correct. We exchange our life force through this realm, sometimes even drawing some from each other. Imagine each of us possessing a divine fruit uniquely flavored to match our individual essences. Some of us generally offer our fruit to others, spreading our love freely. Do not spread your love on me! Please! No! Now is not the time for that! There are a few pixies who can be quite stingy when it comes to their fruit, however. We take bites from our own fruit and sometimes from each other's, sharing the love and nourishment they provide. Thus, the cycle of Ursas continues within this world. When does the cycle end? Can't keep going on. Every time we take a bite, the fruit replenishes itself. This endless bounty comes from the love you gave us as a child. Your love planted the seeds of these fruits. Now they continuously provide us with an endless source of energy. Also, I want to know, what is the, life cycle of a pixie? How long do they live for? Because they can't be any older than, a teenager. Being for real here, they're probably, still in their teenage years at this point. So, the fact that they're full-grown adults is, I have questions. So many questions. Hence, while the life force flows within the painting, its roots extend to your world, nourished by the emotions you once shared. Unless, of course, I specifically wrote them or drew them to be adults. That's a whole other matter entirely. Suddenly, Rosario's enthusiasm wavers. He flips his hair backward with a gentle flick, revealing the hidden length of his dual-colored locks. His lips, coated in dark, glossy lipstick, glisten under the dim light of the forest, as he gives them a slow lick, a gesture laden with a hint of wistfulness. Something within this has changed. The essence within the painting is no longer the same. Rosario pauses, a thoughtful expression settling over his features. His eyes, usually bright and playful, now betray a hint of solemnity. Then, just as quickly as it appeared, the moment passes. He continues as if nothing had interrupted his train of thought. Never mind. It's pointless to spoil the mood in front of our one and only sovereign. We can discuss the rest when everyone is present. You already told them everything. What's there left to explain anyway? Remember Helios's order? I didn't see you cutting off my explanation because of them, though. I figured that the eyes of a human might learn something and stop being such a nuisance. Didn't mean you had to spill everything. Excuse me. You heard what I said. I'd sooner eat 1,000 pins than be stuck in your sorry position. To soak up all this attention and still not have a clue about the power stemming from your hands. Why's this guy always trying to pick a fight with everyone? I did what you wanted me to do, Marcus, even though I didn't want to be with any of you. Throwing a temper tantrum again. I've seen pediatric patients with better manners than you. They were faster with their comebacks as well. You got some nerve comparing me to a kid when we're the same height. I didn't even mention your height, though. Seems like you've got quite the complex, don't you? We all know who has the real complex around here. Some deity-like intelligence you have when you can't even figure out your parental issues. What did you just say? Or rather, did I hear him right? You know about my parents? You heard me the first time. Why ask me to repeat myself? Did you smoke some old paint tube or something? It's not like you had any fresh ones in your small dorm anyway. How does he know about all this? Its sorry state wouldn't even compare to our domains. Before I can process the situation fully, Rosario intervenes. His voice is kind yet firm as he extends a reassuring hand towards me, offering support. If I may. Slowly but surely, he begins massaging my back in slow circles. The motion is subtle, yet proves effective at easing the tension knotted in my shoulders and neck. Is he trying to comfort me? Dearest, you're confusing us, Sovereign. Why don't you explain everything from the start with more context? Despite the rising tension, I restrain any internal protest, opting instead to silently observe the pair. Rosario's continued circular motions on my back offer a sense of comfort, soothing my erratic breathing. In contrast, Mirka appears reluctant. He bites his lips and begins to stammer a reply. I'm so done with this guy. Instead of spewing insults, why didn't you use that mouth to actually explain things properly? Give him a moment, Sovereign. It's not easy for Mirka either. He's one of the heroes after all. He cares deeply for you and doesn't want to cause you distress. On the contrary, that seems to be all he wants to do. As Rosario's words of assurance wash over me, Mirka visibly gathers his resolve. With a deep breath, he straightens his shoulders, his eyes now gleaming with resolute determination. I heard it! I felt Rosario's hand stopping its circular motions, and my breath hitches in return. From the spineless villain, the evil glutton who absorbs everything in his path. Must have wanted to win your favor at first, all while lurking behind the painting. I steal a glance at Mirka and find him sporting an eerie grin. Could it be that the nameless Pixie has been watching me all this time? Is that why I heard the voice after finishing a sketch? And what about those visions? Fortunately, Helios has a plan to defeat him once and for all. I don't trust any of this. He's always been one step ahead like that. Defeat him. His power is a grave threat to the very essence of this painting and to us Pixies. If he seizes hold of the Ursas, be it my Shavat or Mirka's Hasadat, it will damage this world irreparably. Rosario's words resonate with a familiar, distinct drawl, each syllable delivered with calculated precision. It seems as if he has a habit of doing that. I wonder why. The silent expectation lingers in his gaze as it shifts between Mirka and I. Feeling overwhelmed by the flood of new information, I take a few moments to process before leveling a question at the pink-haired Pixie. How am I supposed to process all of this? Oh, don't worry, Sovereign. We'll show you everything in due time. Then, raising his eyebrows, Rosario gazes in the distance. A glint of recognition flickers across his eyes as a blonde figure comes into view. His lips curl into a small smile before he continues speaking. For now, I believe it's best we end the discussion before we rouse any unwanted attention. I need to take a break to refresh anyways. Upon his declaration, he urgently moves away from where Mirka and I stand. Yet before I can track his movements, another distraction snatches my attention away, diverting my thoughts from Rosario's exit. Let us put aside the pleasantries for now. Furthermore, do not forget to retract your wings. Squandering our precious Ursas on meaningless spectacles is beneath us. We must remain vigilant, otherwise we risk the one-winged beast catching us off guard once again. He does make a valid point, but will this affect my plan to go back home? I probably missed a double-digit amount of calls from my mom by now. She must be wondering how I could ruin such a once-in-a-lifetime event. Didn't we just get here? Like, we never actually got any downtime whatsoever between, like, getting here, meeting the guy, meeting all these people, and, like, chatting them up. We've been here for about an hour or so. Like, what are they talking about? Who knows? Dad might have stormed into my dorm already. Will they be upset? Disappointed? Furious? As if reading my thoughts, Helios regards me with a subtle nod and a knowing smile. Do not be alarmed, Lion. You are free to seek refuge in one of our domains. We are more than willing to ensure your safety until we can return you to your home. Helios' suggestion sounds more reasonable than wandering aimlessly and hoping to stumble upon a clue. I'm still hesitant about following them, but what if the nameless pixie really does show up again? His eerie reverence and sudden aggression were unsettling, to say the least. Don't you think he might have a reason for all that? I mean, I don't think any of these characters here are trustworthy whatsoever. They call themselves heroes, but they're all based on the seven sins. Yes, he's the villain of gluttony, but at the same time, he's not parading as some hero. Since I interfered with his fight last time, who knows what if I'll be his target next time. He worships the ground you walk on! What are you talking about? Even if he turns out to be absolutely unhinged, he's the most sane one I've come across! What do you mean? Can I even use that power again to defend myself? Sticking with the others seems like the safer option, but will I be able to get home following these unfamiliar men? After all, I barely exchanged words with most of them. As the heroes of this painting, we will not allow any harm to befall you. You're not taking them anywhere! I turn my head towards the direction of the voice, and to my surprise, it's a nameless pixie. He gives me a playful smile and sends a kiss in my direction. Ah! I love him. Wait, why did he do something like that? I tilt my head in confusion at his newfound mannerisms, wondering what could have prompted this sudden change in behavior. I want to have my fair share of fun with them first. He confidently struts towards me. The other pixies seem on edge, but none of them make a move just yet. They merely observe as the nameless pixie closes the distance between us, one step at a time. A musky and sweet perfume rolls off of him as he leans in and plants a swift kiss on my cheek. The uncharacteristic gesture catches me off guard, and I instinctively recoil. The hell you do? Why are you like this? Such a delightful reaction. I bring up a hand to my cheek in shock, feeling the lingering warmth from the unexpected contact, and instinctively try to wipe it away with my sleeve. Sauntering back into our midst right after your unequivocal rejection, you possess an admirable degree of audacity. What is the rationale behind your current display of grandiosity? As if anyone could reject me. Those who try are simply begging for my attention, and I'll happily pamper them in exchange for their ersatz. Helios raises one hand and is met with a simultaneous laugh from Yulin. Finally! It's time to use my ultimate punch! Give me a holler when it's all said and done. Got better things to do than waste my time on this. I'll catch up with you at the spot later on. Hopefully you'll have wrapped things up by then. If Helios won't give him a proper scolding later on, I will. Murka's really pushing his luck today. Such a cowardly attitude is unacceptable for a hero, especially one of his age. I request that you remain vigilant. Your path has been set by the sequence of events. Staying on guard won't do you any good. None of you could lay a finger on me with that minuscule amount of ersatz you keep flaunting about anyway. A cold but comforting hand rests on my shoulder, and I peer back to see Kai gazing downwards towards me. If you plan to survive, you must keep your emotions shrouded in a veil. What? With a weightless touch, he delicately drapes a white lace veil over my face, its intricately patterned corners brushing against my skin. Take this off of me! I can't see a damn thing! Kai is trying to aid you, otherwise your return will be doomed. This isn't going to! It's time for you all to sing for me. What? Suddenly I feel a sharp impact on my stomach. Sparks fly before my eyes as an intense wave of pain threatens to overwhelm me. Despite my urge to scream, only a pathetic groan escapes my parched throat. Can you feel my love for you? Get away from me! Ah! Seems your body hasn't quite reached its breaking point. The other Pixies are experts at rough play, you know. Looks like we got some catching up to do. Everything is getting fuzzy. It's hot, It hurts so much, and this plot point doesn't make sense. My attention begins to fix on the scorching sensation racing through my veins, causing the surrounding cacophony of sounds to seep into the background. I feel my muscles lock in place. I am utterly immobilized. There's no way for me to run away. It hurts. Summoning every ounce of willpower I have remaining, I avoid emptying the contents of my stomach then and there. Am I gonna make it out of here alive? How about the others? Are they fighting against the nameless Pixie, or are they all standing on their sidelines again? Yet, before I can steel myself against the pain and mind-numbing question, a rough hand seizes me. A familiar booming voice echoes in my ears, accompanied by the clinging of metal accessories. Try to keep up, you punk! You don't call me the #1 speedster for nothing! Be careful, Yulen. We have to get away. What are you? Fighting with him is only to danger and Lion. Runus will. And his essence will be mine. What is he saying? I can't. I'll reclaim my songbird, no matter what. That's the last thing I remember before I black out. That was okay. What was that shift in character? Why? What just happened there? Why was I punched? What the hell just happened? A persistent buzzing in my ears pulls me from the void. Through blurry eyes, I see two familiar figures looming over me. Mom? Dad? Do you know how many times I've called you? Why aren't you picking up your phone? Though the expression remains inscrutable, my mom's voice quivers with the strain of suppressed tears, as if she's barely holding herself together. I thought sending you off to university will help you grow up, but looks like I was mistaken. Now you don't even respect your mom enough to answer her calls. As if her one-sided interrogation wasn't enough, my dad's booming voice joins in as well. His posture is as rigid as his stern and relentless tone. Where the hell were you? We went all the way to your dorm, and what do we find? The door locked up. Well, maybe because I wasn't there. Also, like, what are you two doing, Phantom Mom and Dad? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm in the middle of La La Land, and why are you here even when I'm passed out in a painting? How? A spare key? Useless. Do you have any idea how much I shelled out to change those locks? All for your sake. Why would you have changed my locks? Also, it's not expensive to change my locks. Like, legitimately, like, I could get it for, like, what, $10? Well, I could change my locks for $10, $20 if I want to get something, like, a little more secure, maybe a little more. Don't even get me started on the state of your room. I've told you countless times to tidy it and finish your work on time, but no. You always leave everything till the last minute. You're not going to... Wait, hold up. They're both also, like, doctors. Yeah. Like I always tell you, the only reason you made it this far is because of my hard work. Otherwise, you're completely incompetent, unable to even clean your own room. I open my mouth, ready to push back against the accusation, but no words emerge. It's a familiar sensation, the stifling of my voice. My shoulders tighten and I hunch forward as the words press down on me. After all, what else did I expect? Well, you know what? If you're not gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Screw the both of ya! Do you think you kept this damn thing with you all this time? Kept what? I've been preparing for your commencement ceremony for so long. You want to take it away from me? Is that it? When's the commencement ceremony anyway? I thought it's like in a few days or something, or a couple of weeks. What? Is it tomorrow? Is it today? It was in the middle of the night when we got transported into the freaking painting. I knew we should have burned that painting long ago. At least they were sensible enough to never touch it again. I really believe she turned over a new leaf. Who? That's right. They increased their study hours, stopped going out, and then severed ties with those useless friends who kept dragging them down, making them waste precious times. You both suck! Mom, Dad, are you... We were proud of you, dears. You were? We had high hopes for your future. Medical school, residency, and most definitely a subspecialty. Everything we've done, from the heaps of books we bought to the action lessons we sent you to, it's all because we want the very best for you. It's how we express our love. You only need to be a good child and repay us by following the path we've set for you. Will everything be okay if I listen to you? It's always been that way, hasn't it? The reason you find yourself in this predicament right now is because you blatantly disobeyed us and insist on bringing that piece of garbage along. I didn't bring it, though! Like, I thought you got rid of it! What is it even doing in that box? What even was that box? To top it all off, you decide to continue painting it on the most important day of your life. We know best, and if you dare defy us, you'll never amount to anything. His words hit me like a ton of bricks, the daunting ultimatum leaving me to grapple with a multitude of questions. What should I do now? I never imagined anything like this would happen. I was supposed to attend graduation, make my parents proud, and move forward. So why did I ever pick up that unfinished canvas? Why did I pick up my tools and try to finish those childish sketches? Why did I get trapped in this world? Why am I getting attacked for no good reason? Do I listen to the Pixies? Do I search for clues on my own? Do I confront the villain? Why? Okay, yep, I'm so tired of this damn trope. Oh, shut up, you. I don't know what to do. I can't control anything anymore, damn it! What do I do? Someone. Anyone. Show me the key to the door. I just want to go back home. Back to where I belong. You need to. Otherwise you will. Understood? Wait, what did you say? I couldn't. Listen well. The rest is up to. And if you can't. Your words, I can't hear anything. Like, for some reason, it's just blanked out. If you can't follow our instructions, there's no need for you to come back. What? Oh, come on. Now you're just speaking in white blocks. Slowly, my vision begins to blur, the edges of my surroundings blending into a disorienting haze. I can't make out the figures before me anymore. I wonder what they said. Okay, where am I? My head is throbbing. Kai is relieved to see you awake. As I gradually regain my senses, the listless hand hovering above me starts drawing back in a sluggish, almost mechanical movement. Okay? Are you feeling any better? Kai has been keeping watch over you. It seems like you were having a nightmare. What are we doing here? What happened to the nameless pixie? Ooh. What happened to the nameless pixie? Huh? Are you right in the head? Were you asking about him and your condition? Oh, because he's such a hero, right? Choking someone right in front of you, then swooping down to kidnap you like he's some kind of knight in shining armor. Let's not forget, he punched you in the gut and made you almost throw up all. My vision is swiftly drawn downwards, my eyes widening in shock at the sight of the massive wound lurking beneath my clothes. I tentatively extend my hand, fingers trembling as they make contact with the tender flesh. Kai urges you to be careful. His warning arrives mere seconds too late. A sharp jolt of pain shoots through me like lightning, causing me to recoil with an involuntary wince. I can't bear to look at this genius of a human anymore. I missed a chance to use my ultimate punch again! Ah! Oh, what a tragedy! Let's all weep for the showman. You better weep. You know how many days and nights I've spent holding my skills in my domain, you green runt? Then again, you were probably too busy watching me in action. Ain't I right? You! I made sure to wash my scent off so your snout couldn't catch it. How did you know about that? I believe that's the least of our concerns. The villain's assault on our beloved lion cannot go unanswered. It stains my honor as their senior to see such harm befall our... ease up, geezer. I already got them away from the fight scene in the flutter of a wing, so there's no need to... Let us cease this idle chatter at once. It is quite enough, and more important discussions must now take precedence. It is time for you to make your decision, Lion. What do I do now? On one hand, the heroes assured me they'd lend a hand. I Admittedly, their banter gets a bit odd at times, but it's nothing compared to the unsettling aura of the nameless pixie. Perhaps sticking with the larger group is my best shot at making it through this unscathed. On the other hand, it was weird how none of them intervened when Helios was being choked by the nameless pixie, or how they did nothing when I got gutted. Seriously. During the second encounter when he attacked me, they just taunted him back instead of attacking him, at least from what I could tell through the veil covering my eyes. Maybe I should just try to find my way back home on my own. Ugh, I don't even know anymore. Your choice is? Yeah, ain't no way I'm siding with the heroes. Let's go confront the villain. I want to confront the villain. I know. I saw him choke you with my own eyes. One is utterly disappointed in your decision-making abilities, or lack thereof in this case. Helios's expression morphs into a sneer. It's just that I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. I need to go back to him and figure out. Your actions are inconsequential now. Helios's voice cleaves through my explanation, each syllable laced with an icy contempt. It is as if he could barely stomach the very idea of speaking with me. One shall be compelled to resort to alternative methods to instill some semblance of reason within you. His look of disdain is akin to a cold, creeping mist, enveloping me in a chilling grip of fear. One harbors grander aspirations for your destiny, far beyond your current comprehension. Helios raises his hand. It seems like a signal, and all of a sudden, the other pixies begin circling around me. Oh, what's going on? What are you? The expressions twist and contort into grotesque visages. A swirling mist of vibrant colors begin to rise around me, tightening its grip with each passing moment like a suffocating shroud. My heart pounds in my ears, echoing the dread that envelops me. A chill runs down my spine, sending shivers cascading through my body. Tingling sensation spreads like wildfire, prickling my skin with icy needles. Look, typically I will be like, see, I knew it. I shouldn't have trusted them in the first place. At this point in time, I'm unimpressed. Like, I can take all of you on. Like, all of you on. Like, come on, just try something. But then again, MC is useless, so I should be afraid. Their piercing gaze strips away all safety and comfort, leaving only raw fear. I can't stay here. I need to get away. But you got the power to conjure anything out of thin air. You're the god of this universe. You can do anything. And you decide to run? Like, you got the needle out of nowhere. You're telling me you can't conjure yourself a whole suit of armor? Maybe a sword or something? You remember? Come on, it's not that hard. Every fiber of my being urges me to flee and escape this nightmarish scene, but I am paralyzed, rooted by an overwhelming sense of dread. Invisible chains of apprehension bind me in place, rendering me immobile. I thought you wanted to get away! Behold, the time has come to escort you to Eden. Your sanctuary awaits you. We must unveil our profound commitment to your love after all. Am I losing my mind? Why are they acting like this? What are they meant by? Spearhead our celebration, Yulin. You heard his lordship. You want to do this to you, Lion. The only thing I understand is I made the wrong choice. Just joking. You'll enjoy the pain. I'll make sure of it. What? Hello? Cover up your tits, Yulin! My breath hitches as I whip my head towards Yulin, yet it's too late. The impact sends sparks flying before my eyes, the pain so intense it makes me want to scream. Yet only a pathetic rasp escapes my parched throat. Good for you! Good for you! You bruise easily, don't you? I can't wait to see you covered in my favorite color. He steps closer, a cruel smile spreading across his face. From the first moment I smelled that rancid blood of yours, I wanted to hurt you. He leans in, his voice laced with gleeful anticipation. Don't forget to unclench your jaw. It'll hurt more that way. A loud crack reverberates through the air, sharp and jarring. I collapse to my knees with a dull thud, clutching my leg in a desperate but futile attempt to contain the pain. It pulses through me, each new wave of agony leaving me breathless and trembling. Score one for me! I was expecting my ultimate move to knock you out cold, but look at you! Still standing. Or well, sort of standing. Haven't had the chance to try it on anyone yet, but then again, no one deserves to be the first recipient of this gift more than you! You deserve the very best we can offer. Every nerve in my body screams in torment. My brain frantically tried to process the searing pain. Oh, this can't be happening to me. It's a lie. It has to be. I don't want to hear. I don't want to see. I don't want him to get any closer. It hurts. Oh, shut up! I hate this trope! I hate this trope! Please, stop doing this! Oh, God, I'm so... Oh, okay, I get it. It hurts. Shut up! Oh, my God. Oh! Well. Looks like someone's losing their mind at the party already. Yulin abruptly squats before me. He pulls uncomfortably close until our noses are almost touching, jolting me fully awake. He then grabs my chin, a smirk playing on his lips, and lets out a low whistle. You made your choice, so we gotta celebrate the moment, right? It's a celebration after all. Of course it's fun if you resist too. It's more fun for me when you play hard to get. The last of my strength, I defiantly spit straight at Yulin's face. It lands, albeit partially on his cheek. He wipes the spit away with a flick of his thumb. Then, to my horror, he licks it off with a sickening grin. Ah, that's it. Rile me up even more. I need you to irritate me to the bone. Ah, screw you, you piece of shit. Yes! Act stupid. Do ridiculous things. Make a show of yourself. I want to see your jaw hitting the floor so hard it cracks. Your eyes bugging out like a ghost. You know what? At this point, I'm rooting for the Pixies. Like, frickin' pound MC Yulin. Let's go! You should be screaming for me. I will savor every last drop of your struggle. His grip on me tightens, and he pins me down with absurd strength. Yeah! Finish him! I struggle against him, but Yulin refuses to relent. My muscles strain against his grip as I gasp for breath. With every passing moment, the pain intensifies, threatening to overwhelm my senses and shatter my resolve. You're going to maul the human with those stupid knuckle toys of yours. It's not a toy, you green runt. You're going to make Zephyr Jr. upset. Ugh, whatever. Can't be bothered to give a shit. So make sure you don't end up causing more damage than necessary. Last time I checked, we were only aiming for their legs, not the full body makeover. Huh. What to do? My Hajim is telling me to leave a lasting impression on them. I need to demonstrate my passionate work ethic after all. If you have any brain left in that thick skull of yours, you should try using them. Now's the best time as any. Yulin's unyielding pressure drives me deeper into the forest floor. The jagged edges of broken twigs dig into my skin, adding to the torment. Oh, come on! Try a little harder, Yulin, come on! MC can take it. I bet you MC can definitely take more of this punishment. You need to, so we can keep their hands intact. If we plan on draining from their essence. I gasp for air, the taste of dirt and blood filling my mouth as the world spins and blurs around me. Ah! Stop it! It hurts! Ah, seriously, shut it. Can't you see we're in the middle of something important? Yeah, I'm gonna threaten them. Summoning every ounce of air left in my lungs, my chest constricts painfully under the unyielding pressure as I unleash my fury. I'm going to screw you all up! Now that's why I call enthusiasm. Keep those feisty threats coming. That kind of talk gets my blood pumping. Why all the screeching? You're not going anywhere. Let go of me! Looks like someone needs their mouth sewn shut. We can't have you revealing our location with all that noise. Itching to use your powers, ain't ya? Your Hasadat is practically covering the entire forest, you green runt. Before I can react, Murka's hand shoots towards my mouth. Threads of shimmering green light weave through the air, glinting with an eerie, magical glow. I try to scream again, but the thread tightens. They pull my lips together with unnatural force. Each stitch burns as the searing pain overwhelms my senses. Every movement of my lips is met with an agonizing resistance as the threads embed themselves deeper into my flesh. Tears blur my vision as the final stitch pulls tight, sealing my mouth completely. All I can manage is a muffled whimper. I find nothing as I raise my hand to touch my lips, yet inside my mouth, I feel the thread-like bonds. Every attempt to part my lips is met with a sharp, tearing pain, the threads digging in deeper, preventing any sound from escaping. The agony is unbearable, a searing torment that leaves me trembling and helpless. One's patience wears thin as one witnesses these barbaric actions. Preserving their essence is paramount to our future endeavors, after all. He inclines his head while casting a shadow of condescension over me. It is incumbent upon the leader to alleviate your suffering. Allow one to demonstrate the potency of one's hers. In a flourish of golden mist, Helios summons his familiar rope, deftly twirling it until it's tightly coiled around his hand. With a swift motion, he whips it towards me, causing me to flinch as the sharp edges slice through the air. The magical coil then envelops me, lifting my torso by some unseen force and compelling me to meet Helios' gaze. Well, screw you, I'm closing my eyes. Unwilling to listen to his command, I attempt to close my eyes. However, immediately the rope tightens around me, constricting my movements further and stopping me from blocking out his overbearing presence. The coarse fibers dig into my skin, each breath becoming a struggle as the pressure mounts. The rope seems to respond to my defiance, but I refuse to give him the satisfaction of seeing my fear. You shall come to recognize the depths of your despair, one way or another. Do not deceive yourself into believing you are the shepherd guiding the flock. You are but a sheep, destined to serve us for as long as we see fit. I can feel my vision begin to fade. Waves of searing pain surge through me, each movement sending jolts of agony ripping through my body. How disappointing it is to witness your feeble physicality. Unleash your Goror, Adonis. We cannot have them succumb to unconscious. You've spoiled the surprise, Helios. I hadn't planned on revealing the name of my Ursas just yet. Did your speech just impertinently encroach upon the initial cadence of your leaders? One was not finished just yet. Oh my god, could you shut up, you pretentious twat? It appears my enthusiasm has got the better of me. My Ursas has grown weary of the mundane routine of that infernal pipe. Suddenly, a wave of purple smoke billows from Adonis's mouth and envelopes my eyes. I blink profusely to clear my vision, but the smoke persists, swirling around me like a sinister fog. No matter how hard I try to scream, my mouth remains stitched shut, the threads biting into my flesh with each attempted movement. I desperately rub the inner thread to my lips, only to be met with a searing, burning sensation. You're starting to break them down, I see. Rosario, fashionably late as always. The transformation took longer than expected, but now I'm here. Let the real show begin. Indeed, and just in time to witness the climax. I've been waiting for this moment since the moment I laid eyes on them. Unstitch their mouth, won't you, dearest? The expression is simply too delightful to be wasted in silence. Fine. I'm only doing this to keep the plan moving. Not because I'm indulging your idiotic whims. Definitely not. Murka's fingers wrapped in a green mist brushed against my lips and a rush of air fled into my lungs. My body convulses with violent coughs as if thousands of needles pierce my throat with every breath. Nonetheless, I force myself to say, well, why would I plead? Get the hell away from me! Get away from me! Your disdain for us will soon vanish, just like your pain. I promise to make our little encounter enjoyable for the both of us. Stop this! Rosario begins to slither towards me. His forked tongue flicks out like a viper's, tasting the air. Then with another flick of his tongue, he licks up the tears pooling at the corners of my eyes, savoring each drop with a salacious moan. Ew! Oh, no! How I've longed to hear you sing for me since the first moment I saw you. My one and only songbird. My heart pounds in desperation. I look at the Pixies with some feeble hope that perhaps somehow they might relent and release me from this torment. My gaze falls on... screw all of them. What am I doing? None of them will help me. Like, clearly! Why was this even a choice in the first place? Why? Like they're all enjoying the torture, my dude. Like, at this point, you should have freaking... I'm wishing for your death. Please die! That's like legit! Look at them! Do they look like they're gonna help you? A heavy silence blankets the assembly as Helios snaps his fingers. We stand at the apex of a celebratory revelry. Assume your positions. God. I feel a familiar fabric gently resting on my face. Its lace ends softly brushing against my skin. Suddenly, the pain in my body starts to ebb away as the ropes twist around me begin to loosen. What did you just... Kai must repeat. If you plan to survive, you must keep your emotions shrouded in a veil. This fabric will free you from the Pixies' ersatz, easing your pain, but be warned, it won't take them long to realize something is amiss. Wield your powers once more if you seek to escape. Otherwise, you will become one with the painting and lose all semblance of your existence. What will you create? I'm anxious. I'm scared. I'm going to die. There's no way I can survive. I have no idea why their personality shifted so suddenly, but these Pixies are going to kill me if I don't kill them first. Can I do it? I never harmed anyone before. As a future doctor, my duty is to save lives. To heal, not to hurt. At this point in time, you're not on duty. Like, you're a student, for God's sake. You can hurt as many people as you want. If I don't fight back, I won't survive. If I do, I'll be betraying everything I stand for. Will I be able to live with myself if I cross this line? You know, at this point, just die. The weight of the situation bears down on me, reminiscent of the heavy and suffocating sterile drapes in an operating room. I think of my old surgery kit back at the dorm. If only I had something small yet potent, a sharp item that can be used to threaten and attack without outright killing them. Come on, Lion, think! Dissecting scissors, forceps. Then it hits me. A scalpel! The flat body of the instrument materializes in my mind, its lightweight and sleek form balanced perfectly for small incisions. I picture the blade's spine, the razor-sharp edges, and the notch where the blade fits snugly. Like I did with the propofol injection, I mimicked the shape of the scalpel on the inner fabric of my white coat, as though sketching with invisible ink. Then, with a steady hand, I grasped the conjured scalpel, feeling its cool metal against my skin. It worked! Now there's no room for hesitation if I'm to have any chance of escaping this hellish nightmare. A surge of adrenaline courses through me. The veil's temporary relief from pain is a small comfort. I know I must act swiftly before it wears off. It seems you have made your decision. Kai will now take off your veil. You must be prepared. As the fabric lifts from my face, the colorful fog swirling around the Pixies assails my senses. My heart thuds loudly against my ribcage, a relentless drumbeat echoing in my ears. Waves of lightheadedness wash over me, leaving me dizzy and disoriented. Goosebumps erupt across my skin, each hair standing on end like soldiers at attention. A suffocating sense of paralysis grips me. rendering me immobile as if invisible chains bind me in place, powerless to move. I need to escape. I need to fight for my life. My fingertips go numb, but I force myself to move. The ground feels dull beneath me, and blades of grass cuts into my skin with each move. I can't stay still. I have to keep going. Now would you look at this? Are you seriously trying to get away? Or are you intentionally trying to have me punish you? I only have one chance. Like a blind cat catching a dead mouse. You made this too easy on us, mighty beloved lion. I'd say it's rather disrespectful for you to waste your elders' time with such child's play. One single stroke. We should have done this from the very beginning. What? Ah! A small reddish-black puddle forms beneath the pixie, a sight that is both familiar and alien, a color that shouldn't be created with paint or any colored pencil. I mean, it's possible! In the midst of it all, Adonis kneels desperately, one hand pressed against his face to hold back the blood pouring from his slashed eye. His uncharacteristic and jarring scream pierces the air, producing a ripple of shock amongst the assembled pixies. His usually composed demeanor shatters, replaced by a primal howl of agony and fury. They really screwed you up, didn't they? Congrats on a fresh new look. Talk about Arnie. Flying cat catching a dead mouse, anyone? Oh, darling, what have you gotten yourself into? Such a shame about your eye, but I must say, it does add a certain allure to your appearance. Your display of guile has surpassed one's initial expectations, concealing this weapon despite outwardly presenting bare pockets, a move of astute cunning indeed. Did you perhaps use your Naumidi to conjure? Suddenly, the sound of wood splintering perforates the air, commanding the immediate attention of all present. Yes! It's my boy! I still have questions for you, but my boy! I warned you! Yet you still dared to harm my deity. Even if you cling to your death wish, I won't spare you. It's you! The nameless pixie springs into action, placing himself as a barrier between me and the others. He raises one hand, prepared to strike, while the other acts as a shield. His eyes dot between the other pixies, focused and alert. Every wound, every cry of pain, every scar, I will ensure you pay dearly for them all. Every single one. Yulin? Anything for your lordship! No one step in. I want him all to myself. Let's make this a memorable one-on-one, shall we? Nothing to say, huh? I'll make sure your silence follows you to the grave. Ever since you beat me to meeting Lion, I've been craving a minor payback. Luckily, you showed up just in time to be my new punching bag. Yulin lunges forward, his muscles tensed like a coiled spring. With a sharp intake of breath, he unleashes a punch, his fist slicing through the air with lethal precision and ferocity. In contrast, the nameless pixie stands firm and akin to a granite pillar amidst the storm, takes the blow without faltering. Yulin's fist crashes into his torso with a thunderous boom. In the blink of an eye, the nameless pixie's hand shoots out, seizing Yulin's fist in a vice-like grip. A scarlet mist begins to ooze from Yulin's hand, and his eyes widen in sheer disbelief. The red-headed pixie recoils as if scorched, wrenching his hand away with a gasp. You! What were you trying to do, my Hashim, huh? What? Why did you open your wings? Now he's going to use this! I need to go all out, or else... prepare yourself! Before Yulin can finish his declaration, the nameless pixie launches himself forward with lethal intent. Yulin deftly sidesteps the pixie's attack and aims an undercut at him. The pixie maneuvers swiftly, throwing out his wing and using the momentum to execute a feint and pivot. Yulin is caught off guard by the trick, allowing his rival to deliver a powerful roundhouse kick to his shin. Yulin staggers, thrown momentarily off balance. The nameless pixie capitalizes on the opening. His fist slices through the air like a blade in a whirlwind before connecting with Yulin's jaw, sending the red-headed pixie crashing to the ground. With predatory speed, he leaps to deliver a finishing blow, aiming a powerful kick at Yulin's defeated form. However, just as his boot descends, Kai intercepts the attack with a precise block. Kai insists that you leave. The effects of the veil will leave soon. Then, without giving the other pixies an opportunity to retaliate, the nameless pixie scoops me up like a sack and slings me over his shoulder. Wasn't done with you yet! With determined strides, he leaves the other pixies behind without a second glance. What are you doing here all of a sudden? You'd already planned to confront me, didn't you? I'm simply speeding up the process. At least tell me where you plan on going. You're injured and losing too much energy as it is. For now, I just need you to trust me. So close your eyes, or I'll close them for you. You can separate the art from the artisan, since the terrarium of crafts breathes life upon itself. Yet an artisan will always find themselves reeling back to the realm of arts, akin to the believer whose heart forever wishes to hear the divine voice of inspiration. All the songs have been written, and all the tales have been told. History repeats itself, and we continue our cycle of mindless creation. What use is it to paint, write, or make music when it's going to be a copy of one thing or another? Perhaps it's to wash away our sins, to paint the fiery strokes of wrath, the insatiable craving beyond mere avarice, maybe even to emulate someone else's art in a fit of envy and vanity. One could certainly engage in the slothful desire of creating meaningless pieces, but that's an art in itself, isn't it? Whether it's for praise or punishment, or to be loved by all as a figure of gazing and lust. It's all the contrapasso of what determines a hero and a villain, the interplay of light and shadow, the chiaroscuro of life. Now's the time to illuminate your world with shades known only to you. A world where heroes and villains wear colors that don't match their true nature. Will you find the key that leads to your fate? Or will you paint the lock and forge the door yourself? To be continued. Anyway, that was Chromatic Agape's Prologue. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. We will be back once the full game has been dropped, and I do hope they address a lot of the issues in the game in the full drop. I have so many questions. Like, is the MC gonna stay this stupid, or will they learn like some life-changing lesson? Okay, what was up with the nameless pixie suddenly gutting us? And oh god, please, for the love of God, address these in the full drop, please, or else I'm gonna have words. I'm gonna have a lot of words, and they're not gonna be good words, not at all. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.